Welcome to the Event Answer Studio. If you're looking for a fast balloon arch to build, this is the one for you. Follow along as I make this square link balloon arch using an electric balloon inflator and a balloon sizer box. Now you'll also need 12-inch link balloons, and these are special because in addition to the nozzle, they also have a tail so we can tie these end to end in long chains. All the link balloons in today's project will be inflated and sized to 9 inches in diameter using the sizer box. Gently press one of your balloons against the sizer box and slowly let air out until it just fits through that 9-inch hole. Take 2 of these 9-inch link balloons and tie the nozzles together into a pair by wrapping the nozzles around twice and tying them in a simple knot. All of the green balloons in today's project will be tied into pairs just like this. Then I'm going to join 2 pairs together to start a chain. Take the tail of one pair and the tail of another pair and tie them together in a double knot, securing all 4 balloons into a chain. Continue tying on new pairs to this chain until you have 22 balloons all tied together in one long chain. Repeat this process so you have 2 chains of 22 link balloons and 2 more chains of 26 link balloons. The length of these chains will define the height and width of the finished arch. For the corners of the arch, you'll need 2 single pink balloons to be able to make those sharp corners. You'll also need 2 chains of 3 link balloons tied end to end. The bulk of this arch's structure is made up of chains of 4 link balloons, and then you're going to take the tail ends from each end of that chain and tie them together into a ring. I repeated this step until I had 23 of these rings. Each joint in this ring needs a 4-inch lime green balloon pair. Slip the pair into the center of the ring and then push it towards the knot that you're trying to cover so that both balloons sit on the outside of the ring. Now the easiest way to do this is to slip the pair into the ring and then pull it towards your body so you can easily pull those 2 balloons onto the outside of the ring. Do this on every joint and then repeat this step with all of the pink rings. Doing this step now will save you a lot of time once we assemble the rings to our long chains. I've laid 2 of the chains out on the floor so you can see the size difference. The 2 26 link chains are going to be the outside edge of the arch, and the 2 22 link chains are going to be the inside edge of the arch. Take one of the pink rings and one of the 26 link chains, and we're going to join them together at the first joint on that 26 link chain and one of the joints between 2 pink balloons. Spread the 4-inch balloons apart so you can lay the joint on the chain across the joints of the pink balloons, and then you're going to take those 2 4-inch balloons and wrap them around each other twice, and this will capture both the ring and the chain, locking them together. Orient these balloons so that the chain and the ring are perpendicular to each other. Rotate the pink ring until you get to the next joint. Then you're going to take the second 26 link chain and join the first joint of that chain to the joint of the pink ring that you're holding. Overlap those joints and then secure them together by twisting the 2 4-inch balloons around each other. It's critical that the 2 26 link chains are right next to each other before we move on to attaching the 2 22 link chains to the same ring. Attaching the chains to this first ring is a little tricky because you're dealing with long chains that are getting a little tangled up, but it'll get a lot easier the more rings we add on. The next ring is attached to the chains 1 balloon down from the previous ring, so that there's only ever 1 green link balloon between the rings. At this next joint on the green chains, that's where you're going to attach the joint from the rings and secure them together using those 4-inch pairs. It's important that as you join the chains and rings together, there's only ever 1 balloon between each joint, and that goes for both the chains and the rings. So there's only ever 1 pink balloon between the 2 chains, and there's only ever 1 green balloon between each ring. This will be a little different once we get to the corners, but I'll show you that in detail in just a minute. Once you get the first 2 rings attached, it's much easier to set this whole thing down on the floor as it now has a flat side. I've oriented the balloons so that the back of the arch is against the floor, which means the 2 22 link chains are on my side of the arch and the 2 26 link chains are on the side opposite me, as that will be the outside edge where we put the corner. After you've attached 8 rings, that's where we're going to begin the corner section. Take one of the 3 link chains and tie the tail end of that 3 link chain to a nozzle from that 8th ring on the front inside edge of the arch. You may have to push aside some of the 4-inch balloons to be able to see it, but once you tie the knot, the ring and this 3 link chain should look like an L on the front side of the arch. The next joint in this 3-link chain is going to join to the front outside edge of the arch, but we're going to skip over one joint so that there are 2 green balloons between the last ring and the joint of the 3-link chain. Overlap these joints so that they're touching, and then take a 4-inch pear and wrap it around both of the joints, and then twist the 4-inch balloons around each other so that they lock everything together. I'm going to repeat this process for the next joint on that 3-link chain for the back outside edge of the arch, making sure I skip over 2 green balloons on that outside edge, overlap the joints between the pink and green balloons, and then secure them together with another 4-inch pear. Take the tail end of that 3-link string and tie it back to the 8th ring to one of the nozzles on that back inside edge, just like we did on the front side of the arch. With this design, anything we do on the front side, we'll do the same thing on the back. To finish off the corner section, we can't leave any open joints without balloons, and that's where that single pink balloon comes in. Tie one end of that pink balloon to the nozzles of that joint on the front side of the arch, and tie the other end of the balloon to the nozzles of the joint on the back side of the arch. Then slip one balloon from that 4-inch pear behind the joints that you've just tied, bring it back out to the front, and then twist the 2 balloons around each other, capturing that joint in between them. Do this for both of the joints, and that completes the corner section. From here, continue to add pink rings in every joint of the green balloons until you've got 6 rings attached. If you'd like a little extra help in assembling this arch, I have a set of written plans available linked in the description box below. These include step-by-step instructions, full color illustrations, as well as a complete supply list. Find the plans and other resources linked in the description box below. After you've attached 6 rings, go ahead and add one more corner section just like we did the first one, using a 3-link string and that single pink balloon. Then finish off the second side of the arch by adding 7 more rings. Now if you want to adjust the size of your arch, each link balloon adds about 13 inches in length, so you can use that to roughly estimate the size of arch you'd like to build. This arch can stand on its own without support poles, and that's because we're adding weight to the bottom. I'm tying one water weight to the tail end of each of my green link balloons. This will offer enough support for the arch to stand up, but keep in mind this is an indoor only design. If you want to use this outside, you will need to use a backdrop stand running up the inside of all those rings to offer up enough support. In the joint between the link balloon and the water balloons, that's where we're going to attach our final rings. Slip the water balloon nozzle between the 2 4-inch balloons and twist those 2 balloons around each other. Repeat this step for all 4 joints, and I'll repeat this process on the other leg of the arch so both ends have adequate weight. To make sure your arch stands nice and square, adjust the 4-inch pairs on the inside of each corner. If they're on the inside, it'll actually bow out your legs, so you want to pull these pairs so that they sit on the front side and the back side of the arch, allowing for square corners. This arch stands just shy of 11 feet tall and shy of 10 feet wide. The weights on the bottom are more than enough to make this arch nice and stable, but if you'd like a shorter version, you can shorten the green chains by just 4 balloons, and that will make this arch just under 8 feet tall. If you enjoyed this project, you should check out this video. And until the next time, remember, stay creative, everybody.